It is the RIOT on RadioU.
Where it's not Friday, but if you close your eyes and think about it, you can pretend that it is and then be extra excited tomorrow when it's actually Friday.
Yeah.
So welcome to your Thursday podcast.
I really am ready for some Friday. Aren't you?
I am too.
Yeah. So, hey, in the podcast today, we talk about Call of Duty and all the calls of duties that it's selling.
They gave information about how much did it make.
Yeah, we talk calorie counts on menus. I thought that was kind of interesting. How the reasons why you really don't want Obadiah to pay attention, things get worse. You don't want me paying attention. I'm going to ask questions. You don't want those questions.
It does get bad.
So probably the best thing in the whole show, honestly, the thing that I'm going to be thinking about long after this is all over is the shampoo story.
It is weird.
It's just...
I actually want to go and look online about it more. Not to where, like, I think it might be true, but, like, how many people think this?
You want to see how many people are in it.
Like, is this whole trend and we just didn't even hear about it?
I'll tell you what. I'll post it on our Facebook page.
Okay.
RadioU Riot on Facebook. You can find it there so you for yourself can learn about the shampoo story.
Is your shampoo and your body size connected?
Yeah. We also talk about the NVIDIA Shield. I went out and bought one, but we'll probably return it. The deaf woman in the running water. Happy Dew Year. Nikki finds out a way to watch Hallmark that's not illegal.
I never watched Hallmark movies illegally. I would just watch them on YouTube. Very poor quality, usually pitched a little bit for copyright things.
But it wasn't illegal.
And it was never titled what it actually was. There was always this underground thing of like, this is saying it's this movie, but it's really this Hallmark movie.
There's a series of grandmas that are out there trying to figure out how to beat copy protection.
Yeah. Or like you would watch it and it would be, it'd be framed. Have you ever seen that? Where like the movie's in the frame.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I love movies.
You found your thing.
I did. I just really like Christmas movies and it's fine.
I'm helping you.
Yeah.
Right?
So these are better.
Well, I'm not helping you. You're helping everybody else. I didn't help you find this. You found it.
Let's just say the quality is better.
That's the important part.
So don't forget to join us at RadioU Riot on our Facebook page. You can message us, you can say hello, or you can text 877-2RadioU anytime you want to.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
Uncomfortable silences during that morning carpool? Not a problem. These two never shut up. It's the Riot on RadioU.
So this may come as a bit of a shock to you, but Call of Duty came out last Friday, and apparently it's making money.
I'm not surprised, though I wasn't sure if Call of Duty is what it was back in the day.
It's not.
Not quite.
It is not. It's just like
probably not the same numbers.
It's like Madden is not what it was. Because here's part of the problem is this. Like, let's say all your friends play Fortnite, and you're like, hey, I want to go play Call of Duty multiplayer. Who wants to play with me? And people are faced with the decision of, hey, we could all keep playing this game together for free, or we could go pay $60 to play a game together.
Or if you go back in the beginning of those games, there wasn't the free alternative. That was amazing. Like now we have a ton of free ones.
Yeah.
So, you're like, yeah, of course I have my copy.
It hurts big games like that potentially. But in this case, this Call of Duty Modern Warfare is doing better than the last couple have done. In 3 days, they say they sold 600 million. Whoa. In Call of Duty.
That's still amazing numbers.
It is. So if you cut that by, let's say people paid $60 a copy, and some people paid more because some people would buy the collector's edition or whatever, but let's just for argument's sake, you're at 6 million copies. So, or excuse me, 10 million copies.
10 million copies?
Mm-hmm. So that's not a little bit.
That'll do. That means if it's doing better, then maybe there'll be more Call of Duties.
So it kind of makes you wonder, though, and they almost never tell you, how much does it cost to create and market a game like Call of Duty?
I'm always curious, especially about the marketing side of it, because sometimes I feel like that can even maybe be above what the cost of the game is.
Oh, the marketing
to
is
actually
nuts.
make it. So, but I have not seen as much Call of Duty marketing. I've seen some, and I know we don't always go in the same.
That's you and I not wandering in the same circles
because of the internet, but
I've seen a lot of Call of Duty
But
marketing.
normally, it doesn't creep into my side of the internet verse, and
Sure.
it has. So that means they've been spending a lot of money.
Well, Nikki, this particular Call of Duty does feature a strong female lead.
It does. Maybe that's why they've been pushing that.
She's the leader of the resistance.
Well, I'm a strong female lead.
I've explained to Nikki the way in boardrooms this works. In boardrooms, all they know is, she's a girl, you're a girl.
I'm sure she'll buy it.
You like girl, she girl.
It's the key to a successful game, right?
Yeah. It's everything that you need. So that $600 million, that's only in the first 3 days. So we'll see. I, on the other hand, rented it. So
Well, they still got some money, but not nearly as much as someone who buys it.
my money went to Redbox, which eventually probably made its way back to
Trickle
Activision.
down to them.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
You know, when you have a wedding, you have to understand that on some level, it is an imposition on your family and friends. You're basically saying, you get 1 day a week off, and I want it.
Oh, and like a Saturday or a Sunday wedding.
And you're going to dress the way I tell you to dress. You're going to be where I tell you to be. And you're going to shut up about it. No, yeah, I'll feed you. Like weddings.
You're going to have to wait for it, but eventually you will eat.
You know, that's just kind of the way that weddings work. And you know what? That's society. And we're just like, yeah. And let's be honest, some of us, like there are weddings that we're excited to go to, that it was amazing to be a part of. And then others where you're like, oh my gosh, eighth cousin. I don't know, but my mom's like, if I don't go, she's going to kill me.
You're going to get in trouble.
So, I mean, we're all running on a spectrum here, right? But I just want to know what you think of this. Now, this is from Reddit, so...
Take it for what it is.
It seems reasonable that this is real, okay? There is a Reddit user, we'll call her Amy.
Is she the bride or?
She is.
Okay, so she's the bride.
She wants to have a sunrise wedding. So she wants her guests to be there at 5:30 a.m.
Like a Saturday or a Sunday?
I mean, I'm running off the assumption that it's on a Saturday, but
Wow.
I don't actually have that information.
Is it on the beach or?
So, she said that, I don't know if it's on the beach or not. Maybe.
Like a destination wedding?
So they're like, she and her fiance's tradition is that they go to the beach and watch the sunrise on their anniversary every day. So
That's probably where they would have it then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Would you want to just get it over with? You know, like for us, we get up so early during the weekdays. It's not so bad.
yeah, to me, that doesn't seem like the worst.
Then you have the rest of the day.
And
And you don't have to stay any longer.
That was actually her argument, was like, look, you just come and you'll be done. You've got the whole rest of your day. It's no big deal.
Especially if you threw like an amazing brunch with it.
Oh, come on.
We love brunch food.
I love brunch.
Could have that. Little eggs Benedict, little bacon tower.
To quote,
Yes, we're getting up early.
everything you're doing is right, Nikki. Keep it up.
A waffle bar.
Yeah.
So, like maple syrup shots. I mean, this is what you need
Shut up.
for
Maple
a sunrise
syrup shots.
wedding.
Okay. Well, my thought is I think that it's a great idea.
Yeah.
This whole sunrise. Well, let me rephrase that. I think your ideas for brunch are great. I don't know about the sunrise wedding, but if you told me that those were the things that were going to follow
You
the
would
wedding,
be willing to go?
way more willing to go.
Or maybe my other idea, if I was planning, would be a reversing it, and I would treat it like an overnight, like a red-eye flight, where people would come.
Stay up all night?
No, people would come at like midnight or 1 or 2 in the morning, and then you'd have the party aspect of it, and then you just slide on into the ceremony during the sunrise, and then everybody goes home.
As someone that goes to a lot of weddings, I want you to know that what
won't.
you just said is not a good idea.
They won't make it until then?
No. Because you're going to end up with a bunch of people that are super trashed.
Yeah.
And they're trying to...
Not if they're just doing maple syrup shots.
No.
If that's all that's offered.
There's truth to that.
No, I think I'll go back to my brunch idea, but it's not the worst.
Yeah. Okay. So
We still wouldn't want to go, but
you're
not the
quasi
worst.
on board.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it's bad. I'd go. Sure, why not? I'll just tell you this right now, though, just a heads up. If you ever are thinking about having and I've done these, a mid-morning wedding, an afternoon wedding, whatever, people don't dance at those weddings. If you want dancing at your wedding, it has to be at night.
That's be an evening one.
I'm just I'm just telling you.
If you were the DJ, because Obi DJs a lot of weddings, and you did a sunrise one, you'd have to be there at like 3 in the morning to set up.
I'm just telling you, if you have dancing at a wedding, I've DJ'd tons of afternoon receptions, a couple of morning ones. No, they don't do that. You're going to have to start that thing later in the day.
Which is why you need the brunch bar.
Yeah. Dude, that's why you need maple syrup sauce.
That's it.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
I just want you guys to know I'm officially part of the problem. And I feel like it's real. I'm not just saying that. I am actively making the world a worse place with the choices I'm making with my money.
What choice is that?
I'm going to go see Terminator tomorrow.
Why are you?
Yes!
Come on, don't.
Yes!
Your dollar makes a statement.
That's
Stop
right. And my statement is, hit me, baby, one more time.
Because then afterwards, you're like, why are they making another Terminator movie? Because you saw the one before. You're the reason.
I know. But it's fine. Whatever.
It's like, can't you stop yourself?
No, I don't think I can. I think that Arnold has a grip on me.
Why?
And he's still, even at like 800 years old, he's still stronger than I am.
How old is he?
I don't know. Don't ask questions like that.
Oh, you're not supposed to?
He's probably in his 70s, right?
Yeah, I would think, or maybe.
He's got to be.
Is he in his 80s? No. 70s?
He's 98.
He can't be 60.
He's 132.
132?
I don't know. But hey, look at this. Look, 66% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, Nikki, it's tone.
You know, it's not.
It's tone. Okay.
It's not just about the percentage for this one. Okay. You're looking at the entire franchise and what you're saying okay to. Mm-hmm. And you're, like I said, you're voting then for them to continue going on.
Well, here's what they say.
When we need closure.
Let me tell you this. I'll tell you what was the sinker for me. The thing that made me go, okay, yes. They are pretending the other Terminator films don't exist, which a lot of us do.
Yeah.
Not me. I go back every couple of years and watch them again.
I've seen a lot of press with this. They're just pretending 1 and 2 happened, and then that's it.
That's it. But if what I read about it is true, what they have the Sarah Connor character, what she's been doing since the second movie, dude, it's a great idea.
Is it?
It is actually.
Is it? Is it really?
When I don't know if it's true. I mean, I think it is. But when I read that, I was like,
you don't want to spoil it?
Great. You guys this is the first truly solid idea I feel like I have heard for this whole mess.
Uh-huh.
It's a good one.
Is it?
If that's the thing, it's a good idea. I'm not going to say it out loud because I won't spoil it.
You don't want to spoil it. Jessica, Angela, thank you. Arnold Schwarzenegger, 72.
72.
Thank you for texting.
Greg says he's going.
You're going to go see it?
Jerome says, I might go see it too. Boom. There it is.
Possible. There's 4 people all ready to go tomorrow.
And to be clear, 3 or 4 people is how many was in the theater when I went to see the last Terminator movie on opening weekend.
You want to see it tomorrow, that's fine. But I want you to mark this down. I don't want to hear anything about then when the next Terminator comes out and there's rumblings of it.
Yeah.
And you going, why are they doing another one? I don't want to hear anything about it.
I didn't say that this time.
You did after the one you went to the theater and it was a Friday and there was no one there.
Yes.
Was that the last one?
That was Terminator Genesis.
And you talked a lot after that one of why.
It was not very good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I went back. Did I tell you I watched that a couple weekends ago?
You did not.
I did.
To get ready or what?
I don't know. I was just I wonder if this is as bad as I remember. And parts of it are not. Some parts of it are good. But there are also some parts that are just so bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. Like what?
Surprisingly bad.
Yeah, but they say this is it's
less surprises.
It's less bad.
Less bad. Okay. And you haven't seen a movie in a while, so I know you feel like
that's the problem.
You want to have the movie experience.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to get some of that botulism cheese.
You got a good day planned tomorrow, don't you?
Spending the weekend calling out to the Lord, help me. What have I done?
Why did I see Terminator? She said don't go see Terminator.
I'm being terminated right now by the cheese.
He got sick once on the cheese that comes with the nachos and the pretzels.
It's bad.
A little close to a little botulism.
I even called the theater, and they were like, nobody else got sick. And I was like, yeah, they're dead. That's why they're not calling.
They couldn't call in.
I lived, and I'm trying to tell you.
Your cheese is sick.
Your cheese is killing people. I might not make it.
But then you're like, is it so bad to where I can't have it again?
Do you guys have like a new can? Maybe it's just that can.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So I had Monday off, and to celebrate Monday, I decided to go out and get a kind of a celebratory lunch, which is why I went to McDonald's for chicken McNuggets.
On Monday when you were off?
Yeah, I did. And they were delicious. And you can throw whatever stones, verbal or otherwise, you like. But I'm eating nuggets, watching Terminator probably. Like, I'm good.
This is your happy place, and that's fine. I guess we celebrate whatever happy place you need to be in.
It's a sad little life, but it's my life. And I don't want to hear any more about it. Thank you. Oh, but I'm reading this article here about fast food. And, you know, one of the most difficult things to deal with now about going to restaurants are the calorie counts that they're putting on the menus.
Because they show you how many calories are in an item. They have to.
You're just like, look, I'll pay an extra $1 per item if you'll give me a menu without the calorie count on it.
Sometimes I look at the calorie count and I think, oh, not the one I'm getting. It can't be that much.
They won't. There's not that much food there.
It's just a hamburger. How can it have that many calories? I think that when I go to Five Guys all the time, I'm like, how can it be this many calories?
This is a miracle. It's like
the whole day's calories in one meal.
This is supernatural. How could you squeeze? Like, science has really done it.
That's why it's really
sad.
Look
at all those calories.
When they're like, oh, you should like food journal your day because you're like, I only eat like 1,500 or 1,600 calories. And then you look back, you're like, no, I've been eating more. Because we can see them now.
Well, according to the study, now remember, this is just in the UK, but here's what they found. They have found that on average, people eat about 60 less calories per meal because of the posted
menu?
Calorie counts. Yep. They say that because people have wondered, like, hey, is this having an effect? And the answer is apparently.
It's been a few years since legally restaurants had to provide that information on the menus. And I remember it was around New York or, you know, legislative or something with that state. I thought that started it or what. But, like, why did they say they wanted to? Was it because they wanted everybody to become healthier or
like
make better choices? Or what was the push behind it?
To help people make informed choices about the food that they're eating.
So we would know?
Yeah. Well, because, you know, Nikki, obesity is an epidemic.
Is it?
Not just in American society, in the world.
And having the numbers showing it right in front of your face will stop you.
It'll slow you down. So, you know, Nikki, it's all that availability of fried foods. Plus, of course, you know, all the chemicals in the food supply making us docile and fat. So the aliens get here, they're going to harvest us and eat us like the cows we're turning into.
Well, we'll taste good at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're
delicious.
like, oh, you had nuggets recently, didn't you?
Fatten you up. It's
yes,
working.
we did.
It's working. We're going to baste them in sweet and sour. So it's working.
Sometimes if you look at the menu also and just close one eye on the side and then you can't see that part of the thing. Yeah. Just look to the left.
Well, I can tell you I went... Not McDonald's. Oh, on Tuesday I went to Arby's.
Wow.
And I was like...
Look at you this week.
I know. When I was looking at the sandwiches, I was like, you know, maybe we'll just back it down a little. It resulted
Perhaps
in
not
me...
the large combo.
It resulted in me having fewer calories at lunch because, like Nikki, I was amazed at the miracle of modern technology that they could squeeze that many calories into a sandwich.
How is that even possible?
Wow!
It's a talent.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
Our new, what do we got?
You go to the shop area, the lightweight jacket.
The lightweight jacket.
Was the one you were stuck on?
Yeah, because does it have a hood?
It does.
Because I want to call it a lightweight hoodie.
Well, no,
but
it has a zipper, so it's a
lightweight
jacket.
I got to be straight with you guys. When you're looking for proper terminology when it comes to colors, clothing, fabrics of any kind, really, there are too many things. This is probably a problem across my entire life. There are too many things where I'm just like, whatever. And
do you say whatever and that stops you from learning?
Well, it does. Sometimes it does. Sometimes I, like, looking back, I'm like, dude, what you really should do is pay attention and learn instead of being dismissive. But then there's this other side where it's like, this is stuff that I literally don't need to know.
But
I don't
you
need
do
it.
need to know this one.
Well, I mean, this is different.
This is different than everything else.
Yeah, this is different.
So the lightweight RadioU jacket, the new one. We've got a new RadioU scarf. We've got beanies, snapbacks, crew necks, all the fun stuff. If you go to shop.radiou.com, you'll see it there.
No, wait, a crew neck.
The sweatshirt.
That's the sweatshirt.
Yes, because it does not have a hood. It's a crew neck.
Okay. What is a crew?
A crew?
Is that just what you call that?
Yeah, it's like the collar style.
See, now that, I'll just tell you, like, seriously, this is one of the reasons why I don't like paying attention to things like that, because here's what I get caught up in. I'm like, okay, it's a crew neck. Why is it a crew? Like, where did that come from?
Remember, it's
why
probably
do you
a
call
nautical
it a crew?
term.
Yeah.
It's probably.
It probably is.
Probably
and
is
so,
something.
While everybody else in the meeting has moved on, I'm like, crew neck origins. Like, where did that name come from, and why are we calling it that?
It's too much.
It's like when I took statistics. I remember so clearly the conversation that my prof and I had, where I was just like, "Hey, like, I can't solve for these formulas. I don't understand." And he's like, Why are you trying to solve? He's like, no, you just use them. You just plug the numbers in. It doesn't matter. And I was like, I don't really feel comfortable using a formula if I don't know where it came from and how it works.
That's just your mind.
And he's just like, no. Like, don't worry about that. Just
so listen, I understand your professor, okay?
So
when it comes to, it's just a crew neck and it's just a lightweight jacket.
yeah.
That's it.
Well, but you taught me a lot, Nikki. You explained to me that we call it a jacket because it zips.
It does.
Whereas I want to call it a hoodie, but it seems that hoodie means there's a hood, but no zipping.
Zipper. That's why.
Okay. What if it was just like a top zip? So it zipped down. Is that like a quarter zip?
No, those are
Would we say the all-new RadioU quarter zip?
Maybe. Don't ruin it in case that's coming. Let's keep that as a surprise.
I don't know.
That's usually a pullover.
Okay. It's a pullover.
Yeah.
But would the lightweight hoodie, would that have been a pullover?
You're not pulling over what do you mean?
No, the jacket. Now, see, the jacket's got a zipper. We got to stick with the terms here. So, but let's say a crew sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Nautical. I'm pulling it over me. That's still a pullover?
No, the other means it's more like it's like a jacket or a sweatshirt. It's something a little bit more substantial, but you're just pulling it over. It's not going to zip or do much.
Now, I want you to think about the last 3.5 minutes.
Yes.
Are you sure you want me to pay closer attention?
I do not want you to pay closer attention. You're fine.
Okay.
I'll tell you if you ever forget what it is. I'll just be the one to give you the details.
Because me paying closer attention, these are the conversations that happen.
Causes more confusion and problems.
All right. Just checking in.
Unless you want to learn, and then we'll teach you.
You don't want me to want to learn.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, did you spend some time last night with the Great American Pastime? Were you watching the World Series, Nikki?
I did not, but way to go for the Nationals. Did you like that?
Okay. Can I ask you an honest question?
Yes, you may.
When you said way to go, was that your way of trying to pull and think really quickly about
the team's
who won?
name? Yes. I saw it enough this morning in the gym. Like, that's all they were showing. But I couldn't remember. I was like, I know which team won, but I couldn't remember the name. I was like, oh, yeah, the Nationals.
Those one people.
And I know it was their first one.
Okay.
In their franchise history.
You know what, Nikki? There
Did
you
I
go.
get that right?
You just took all I had.
That's it?
Yeah.
And that's amazing. Way to go.
So, yes, the Washington Nationals won Game 7.
It's amazing I'm not on ESPN yet.
What?
It's amazing.
You know what? My perception of ESPN is it's just people yelling.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we could do it.
Honestly, you could totally do it. And in fact, with a good producer, you got enough personality. I just feed you a couple of...
You just tell me what to say.
Couple things.
We'll add our own presentation to it.
And we can go right on it. So 6-2 was the end of that game.
Against the Astros?
Against the Astros. So, yeah.
Got all the details.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just to be clear,
yeah.
I want you to know that you were doing better than I am. I have the cheat sheet and you don't.
Yeah, I got it all right there in the head.
Because in the gym, I was also on the treadmill today, but I don't wear my glasses.
Oh, so you can see it.
And so I can't. Actually, the TVs drive me insane, and so I have to take my glasses off. I'm guys, I got problems. I can't,
sports are not the problem.
I get obsessed with crew necks, and I can't take 10 screens at once because I start getting whatever.
Oh, it's just too much overload.
It's fine.
Way to go to them, though. That was a very good World Series. Yay! Woo! All right. Sports. We promise to do better next time. If this was not enough.
Yeah. So good job, Nikki. Wait. I'm sorry. The phone's ringing.
Is it all the sports networks?
Actually, it looks like it's Fox Sports 1.
They're
on line 1.
Hey.
Line 2. What do we have here? I think that might be ESPN.
Remember, if you just sound somewhat confident, and then for me, add a nice little laugh.
There's an opening on the Ocho.
My dream.
You got to start somewhere.
I've always wanted to be there.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
I almost feel like this is so dumb, I need to pre-sell it so we can come back and then I can actually tell you about it. But I'm just going to jump in.
Just going to say it?
I'm just going to jump in. Okay, the latest, I don't know, dust up in the influencer world is this woman named Eleni Chachopoulos.
Okay.
I don't know who she is. Believe me, there's a lot of things I'm looking at online. Wellness influencers
is not in the list.
Not exactly where I find myself.
That's not where your influence comes from.
Really? Okay, but she says that the thing that is keeping us all from losing weight, it's not our lack of exercise. It's not even our diet.
Is it our lack of sleep?
It's our shampoo.
No, it is not.
Our shampoo.
It is not. That can't be it.
Our shampoo contains obesogens.
Which is like obesity.
Okay. So
is that a real word?
Right there. Okay. Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, obesogen? I have never heard that in my life. Like, what is an obesogen?
How do you even spell it?
So,
is it obesity causing, ingredient or what?
So here's the thing is,
we're not eating our shampoo. Like, we're not that hungry.
Obesogens are depending on who you talk to, are real or are not real. And here's the idea. Obesogens are chemicals or environmental factors that are causing you to gain weight. And this lady says there's obesogens in your shampoo.
What about our conditioner?
Oh, she doesn't say anything about conditioner.
Is the conditioner fine?
To be fair, this is a long video, and I haven't watched the whole thing.
I could give away my shampoo. Like, I don't care about that, but I need my conditioner. I get very tangly hair. I need it.
Look, I'm telling you, you can have this, but not this.
Not my conditioner.
The other thing that I'll say about it is you have to wonder, and I haven't gotten far enough into her Instagram to find out.
She must be a partnership with some sort
That's what I was going to say.
She's selling some sort of,
she's
some shampoo.
Selling some kind of shampoo that doesn't have obesogens in it. So
next time when we go to the store, if you're buying your shampoo at the store, I mean, you should really be going to a salon to buy yours. Do we look for that on the label or what?
No, you won't find it on the label.
Does it have the calorie count on the label?
So it's interesting. Obesogens, that term was coined in 2006. So it's fairly new. And again, it's weird. Nikki and I look at so much junk every day. I can't believe that it's been around that long and we haven't heard that word yet. But whether or not they're real is it's this hotly contested thing where a lot of people think that all of the chemicals and the stuff around us is the reason why we're...
I've heard that before.
Yeah. Okay, well, obesogens is part of that idea.
Okay.
It's just a chemical that's doing this or a chemical that's doing that.
It's like, say, it's keeping your body holding on to the fat. Something like that.
Right.
Where you could be losing weight.
I'm sure there's something to some of it. But the other side of it is that most people don't talk about this part, but we are living longer, healthier lives than anyone in history. Like, as a whole, if you look at the numbers overall, we are, as a society, we're living longer than ever.
Sure.
I mean, everybody's like, get back to a natural lifestyle. Yeah, you'd be dead at 20.
Well, I mean, they were shampooing with probably cocaine back then, remember? With
if
the
at all.
original. Yeah, if at all.
They had no teeth,
It's true.
I'm just saying.
It is true.
So, I don't know. But obesogens, Nikki, it could be.
They're everywhere.
You know what? You and I are both going to the gym in the morning, and I just want you to know that if you're wanting to become a healthier, stronger you should probably stop with that shampoo.
Why don't I go in and just with conditioner on while I work out?
No. Just get that body wash I have. There's no chemicals in that.
Man, I'm so jealous of your guys' body wash where it's like it can be your shampoo, your body wash, your conditioner, your everything.
Your breakfast.
Yeah, like it's your...
You just squirt it right in your mouth.
It's like your mouthwash. Like, how do you guys get it all in one? We're like, you need 6 or 7 products to be the one bottle you have.
And that's just at the gym. At home, obviously, there's over 20 that you'll need before you're able to get out.
That's why a lot of the women at the gym come in with like full backpacks. And that's just your workout backpack.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Well,
makeup's in the car.
That's interesting. I wish you wouldn't have told us because now in your back of your mind when you're shampooing, you're like, is this making me fatter?
Hurry up and shampoo. Get it out.
Get it off.
Get it out.
Get it off me. So now we have to second guess ourselves every time we take a shower.
Mom, it's not my fault. It's my shampoo that's got obesogens.
Like I can't keep it on my hair for more than a few seconds.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Yesterday on my way home, I picked up a brand new NVIDIA Shield. And if you're wondering, think Apple TV, but Android instead.
A smaller company.
Yeah. Yes, certainly a smaller company.
But still, I mean, they've been around for a while doing various products. So, at least I've heard of them.
They have released if you've got...
If you tried to cut cable... At some point, I feel like you would have run across their name somehow, especially in the beginning.
You might see their sticker on your laptop, stuff like that. So I picked this thing up, and it's supposed to be like the premium kind of high-end Android TV set-top box to compete with like an Apple TV. And so plugged it in yesterday. I have spent maybe 20 minutes with it. I had a very busy evening.
I can't tell by your tone. Is it good or not? Does it work? Or
it booted up just fine. Everything worked.
Connected?
One of the primary reasons I want it is so that I can I can do some game streaming from my basement to my living room TV. And it's supposed to do that. And it was one of those things where I bought it because it was supposed to do that super easily. And then, of course, the 2 games that I want to play on it
don't support it?
No,
Aww.
They don't natively support it. So I started looking, they're like, well, you can do this, this, and this. And I was like, you know what? We are an 1/8 of an inch away from just putting the box and walking out.
And returning it?
Like just taking it back.
Yeah.
I got 14 days to return it. And I told the lady, it was almost like, sign in blood. Tell me that I can bring this back.
If I don't like it, I want to take it back.
Because I might not like it. And if I don't like it, it is coming back to the store.
That's kind of the problem with some of the smaller ones, where is it as good as they're promoting it to be?
That particular piece of the tech, I'm not too sure about, though all of the rest of it seemed to work just fine. Like I blew through a few apps, and I'll say they have a new remote that... Have you ever seen like that chocolate where they call it Toblerone or whatever? It's like
a Toblerone.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the little thing that breaks off in the long log.
Yes. That is the shape of this remote.
Really?
Yeah.
What a weird shape for a remote.
And so on the flat side are where you'll find the buttons and stuff. And I agree with you. It is an odd shape, but you know what? I like it. The problem with the Apple TV remote is that it's so small and delicate. I had to buy a case for it because I could never... I'm like dropping it, can't find it.
That's your fault then.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the design's fault. That's not a flaw.
It's a feature.
It's a feature, and for you, it might be a flaw.
Whatever. So, like, some of that worked. But, okay, like Apple TV has Siri built in. Let me tell you what. I don't think I've ever messed with anything that is voice activated that works as well as Siri does. It's ridiculous how well I can like use it. It was super user friendly. And you're using a piece of technology and you're like, I wonder if it'll do this. And it does. So I'm like, instead of spelling things out, like using the touchpad, I can just spell it with the letters, speak out loud.
Was the Shield not as good? Does it have voice support?
As of right now, the Google Assistant would come up. and I would tell it things, but it never heard me.
Well, it's got an attitude. It doesn't want to follow the rules.
I guess,
it knows that you're going to return it in under 14 days.
Well, it should know that if it performs better, I won't return it.
But right now, it knows the writing's on the wall. It just knows.
Yeah.
You wanted to stream games. If it doesn't do that well, then
It's going home.
why bother?
Well, because the Apple TV is actually a wonderful streaming box. It's great. I mean, it's more expensive, but it's one of those few times in life where I feel like I spent more money and got it right out of it. It works. And if this thing can't handle the workload, it's going back.
Look at that. You got the power as the consumer.
Look at how powerful I am.
You have the power on if you want to keep that or not.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here, obviously. This is The Riot on Radio U.
There was I know you guys are all big readers of the New York Times. I'll tell you, I don't even go digital. I like having it delivered to my door.
The feel of the paper in your hands, right?
Well, it makes it easier for me to take a pen and I highlight the important parts, and I've got a scrapbook that I cut it out and then I put it in there.
I'm surprised during the show you don't hear as he turns the newspaper.
Turn the page.
Do they still make the newspaper for that then? Like printing it out?
Do they still make newspapers?
Do they still do that?
I guess. I don't know.
Is it smaller versions or what? It's been a while since I've seen a newspaper. Normally only on vacation if they still leave one outside the door.
You know what's funny? If I do stay at a hotel, I always pick up that paper and read it.
You do?
Yeah, because it's such a novelty. It's like, look, a paper. What's in here?
What do we do?
I read it.
Or sometimes I watch those coupon shows where they're all like real into it, and then they grab the paper too.
Sure. So, it's got to be out there somewhere. So the New York Times had an article about a steakhouse called the Peter Luger Steakhouse.
Have you ever heard of it before?
Never.
In the steak world, yeah. I mean, I've heard of Peter Luger.
Luger?
Because it's a weird name. But yeah, it was always a steak place.
Okay. Well, that
was supposed to be a nice one.
Yeah, whatever. The New York Times gave it a 0 out of 5 stars review, saying it was terrible. But it's been great for business. Oh. Because that article came out, let's see, today's Thursday. I think that article hit Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or whatever they printed this review of the steakhouse about how terrible it was. And then on Wednesday, they say New Yorkers showed up in droves to eat there.
To support it from the bad review or to see how bad it's become?
No, they say to show support that they still think it's the best steak in New York City.
It's a bold statement.
And there's a lot of pictures of people,
It's become a thing then. It's a social media thing to now do.
Well, the funny thing about it is this, and I mean, I don't know this, but the person that wrote the New York Times review of the restaurant, I haven't read it, but the worst thing, obviously they were angry about something, like they thought it was so terrible, no stars. That's not the worst thing they could have done. The worst thing they could have done was give it 3 stars.
Something that would have not been noticeable in the news world.
It gets 2 or 3 stars, and then people go, oh, man, it must really be going downhill over there. Look at that, whatever. But 0 stars always tells me that the person's just mad about it. Same thing with reviews on Amazon, any kind of an online review. I'm not I've said this before. I think we've said it here on the show. I'm not always trustworthy of a 5-star review or a 1-star. Give me a 4 and tell me why you knocked off a star. Because let's be honest, nobody really gets 5 stars.
No one gives them.
We're all human. Something didn't work out right.
And you need to have room to grow.
Got to have room to grow.
You never want to shut that off.
But 0 stars tells me you're just mad.
Well, he said the reviewer just said it's just changed. It was completely not the same and made a spectacle out of the review.
Yeah.
And then that has led to now everybody wants to go there.
Yep. So
if you're like, what's Peter Luger? And you're like, oh, now you can go.
This reminds me of a conversation I had yesterday with my friend Daniel in Japan. He has a ramen restaurant that he absolutely loves. And apparently it changed hands and they changed the recipe.
Oh,
and he is
he's devastated.
He's devastated about it. Because he said it's one of his favorite things to eat. It's been the same for I don't know how many years. And they just all of the sudden.
They ruin it.
He walks in and it's different. He says he eats there at least once a week.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Not anymore, Nikki. So Peter Luger. But apparently people still going. So good for business. Remember, sometimes you can take a frown and turn it upside down. You can take that 0-star review and capitalize.
You can take that 0, add 2 dots and a smile.
$sign.
And suddenly it's a smiley review and not a 0.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, look, I want to tell you a story about a video game, and I don't want you to tune out immediately because it's a game. Listen to this story, okay? Fallout 76. It's an online game that happens in the Fallout universe, if you know what that is. But here's the idea. It's been out for about a year. Mm-hmm. When it launched, it was just derided. I talked to a lot of people that liked it, but critics and a lot of very kind of loud people online hated it. Right?
To the point where if you did like it, you should probably be quiet about it.
Actually, that happened. A lot of people just stayed quiet, whatever. So like 2-3 weeks ago, this game's an online game, and it's a quote-unquote live game, so things happen, et cetera, community events, whatever. It happens on public servers. You log in, and they launched this thing 2 weeks ago called Fallout First. And the idea is you pay and you get all this stuff for paying. So, I mean, think, in some ways, to me, it just seemed like they were launching a season pass, which, I mean, you see with everything. Fortnite does it. Apex Legends does it. All these different games.
But wasn't this the one that was really expensive?
It was $100 for a year of premium content. Okay. So they're doing this. The big complaint has been that there's this, I don't really understand it because I don't play it, but basically everybody wanted a much larger backpack that they could carry things in.
An actual physical backpack?
No, just in the game.
Oh, in the game?
Yeah.
I thought, well, maybe it's one of those extra things you get.
This carrying space has been like the single most requested thing from all of the community, and they're like, sure, no problem. Just sign up for this and you can have it. So people are furious about it. Here's the part about it that I think is interesting, but you needed that background to really get to it, right? So you got these public servers where you've got some people that are paying extra money, but the majority of people who are not. So what is happening is the people who are not paying extra are ganging up on the people that are paying extra
in the game
and killing them in the game because they're so mad about the fact that there is a pay thing for the game.
Oh, so they're going after them in the game world?
Yes.
That's a bit organized and mean.
It's wild. I mean,
hey, you know what? Gameplay is a wild world.
But to think
that's organized.
That's class warfare.
It is.
Someone
started that and they ran with it.
That is a haves and have-nots situation. They are liquidating the bourgeois.
They're taking them out.
It's crazy, dude. I just think it's amazing. Like, you're really mad. You don't know what to do about it. But then you got this other guy over here that he's not on Reddit. He's not paying attention to Twitter. He's just one of those people. He just
paid and he's happy and playing.
He's having fun. He's whatever.
He obviously loves the game if he was willing to play, to pay that much to actually play it.
And here comes a bunch of other players that just lay waste to him. Why? Because he bought the season pass.
As much as I'm for,
what
I like when we organize and we get together.
Sure.
And I like it for a good cause, and I don't know if this one's it.
It's brutal. It is brutal. Like,
it's pretty mean.
Just playing a game. I understand that you're upset, but you're just like, yeah, you know what? If I can't have what I want, I can't take it from you, but I'm going to destroy you because you got it.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it, because can you imagine you're just playing the game you love, and you're like, why am I doing so badly? Why is everybody coming after me? You take it personally, and you start wondering what's wrong. But now you know it's everybody who's paid, they're trying to take them out.
Man, no, I'm out. I can't. I have Fallout 76. I bought a new microphone. It came with it with a code. This just makes me not want to play it. Like, you know what? Anybody want a code?
That seems a bit too much like real stuff, like real world things.
It feels like real angry.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
There are few places on earth where you are less welcome and people care less about you than the billing department at any kind of a utility company. They don't care
about you.
Right. Your special circumstances, your little reason that you need to talk to somebody, they would prefer it if you just shut up, paid your bill, and got out. And then you're like, well, I'm not going to the billing department. I'm going to customer service. They're just going to send you back to billing.
That is billing.
And just to be clear, customer service doesn't care either. They actually care less about you than the billing people do, because at least at the billing place, they want your money.
That's true customer service.
Customer service, they're just like, ugh, why are you even calling? Don't call. Okay, have you gone and checked out our award-winning website?
I know. They just don't want to talk to you.
No,
You can
I
go
called.
there. That's why they put you on hold for so long, just to try to get you to give up.
And I think this is a perfect example. There's a woman in Maryland who got a water bill when she was like, what the what?
Was it high?
$5,000.
Whoa! I thought you were going to say 500, which is high, but
would still be high.
You could see that potentially happening, but $5,000, that must be, there's a leak somewhere, or what's going on?
$5,000.
What'd they say?
Well, she had a running toilet.
Yeah.
So, if
even that
seems high.
Yeah.
So let me get to the special circumstances that should make the utility company feel even like bigger jerks. She's deaf.
Yeah. Oh, so she can't hear the running toilet.
She can't hear the running toilet. So she had no idea
they can't,
that it was happening.
They can't charge her for that.
They can, and they are.
No, she needs to get someone on that.
See, Nikki, here's the thing. As we all know, the argument, I have had conversations like this. They're like, well, you used the water,
yeah,
but I didn't.
She would know.
It came from us. You took the water from us.
That's when you need to.
And now you owe us.
No, that's when she needs to go online and start shaming. That's the only way she'll just not have to pay that. She needs to shame that company.
Well, you know what? There's a community action agency in her area that has kind of taken up her cause and is either going to
raise the money
to pay the bill, or try to work with the company to get it lowered or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's kind of only right in this situation.
You would think so. But I will tell you.
At first, the water company was not interested.
Well, it's interesting. I had a guy I know, older guy, waters his lawn or whatever, and they got like this big thing, and he was telling me about his water bill was crazy one year because he had like the inline, like in-ground whatever,
and
one of the sprinkler kind of thing, and it cracked and was just leaking water, and he had a crazy bill, and he found the problem
leak,
and fixed it, but it was just like, well, that sucks. Pay up.
The water company or utility companies, I mean, it's about how they come back at you with it, where they could be understanding and believe, you know what, I'm sorry this is happening to you.
At least say you're sorry.
Goes a long way. And you're like, why do they have to? Sometimes you just do that, okay? Sometimes sometimes you just say, sorry, this is going on. Let's figure out a way to work through this together.
Yeah, so it's wild, right?
Man, I'd be so mad to be like, no one uses water anymore. We're giving them nothing. I don't care what we have to do.
No more water.
No more water.
What are you drinking? Don't drink that.
Nothing. We're bringing it all in now from somewhere else.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Mountain Dew for me has to be a sometimes food because, dude, regular Mountain Dew. Oh.
That's a special treat.
Man, I start drinking that, and the next thing you know, I think I'm Caesar in some foreign land talking about the nectar of the gods that was brought down from the mountain because it's so delicious.
It's a tempting drink.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good. So Nikki and I went and had ourselves, what was the stuff that we had? Was it something lightning we had at KFC?
Is it Sweet Lightning?
Was it Sweet Lightning?
I'll look it up. It was mango. Or is it peach?
I thought it was a peach flavored drink because we're looking now at Mountain Dew supposedly will be launching a new flavor for New Year called Happy Dew Year.
Oh.
Hello.
So Sweet Lightning, which was what?
Sweet Lightning,
yeah,
that's
that
what we
was
had.
at KFC, and that was sweet peach and smooth honey.
It was
Mountain
good.
Dew.
So this, they are saying, is probably going to end up being a peach flavored drink. So that you like peach stuff, right?
I love peach.
Well, I'll tell you what we got from Nick upstairs at my desk right now. We've got Merry Mashup.
We do. And that is that Mountain Dew or is that Coke or Pepsi?
It's Mountain Dew. Nick brought us Merry Mashup and Cinnamon Coke.
Cinnamon Coke, that's right.
I don't think we've had It's not like Merry Mashup is not the same as it was last year, though,
That
right?
one is cranberry and is it cranberry and pomegranate? I think that's what the mashup is.
I didn't look.
You didn't look at it?
Well, I mean, I figured at some point we'd just bring it down here and do something with it.
We have those to do an upcoming Riot food fight with.
Yeah, and then did you see this? I did not know. So you got this Mountain Dew year that is this peach flavored thing,
which I want to stress if anybody sees when we get closer to the
Tell
new
us
year,
immediately.
because I like peach flavored items a lot. Not a huge fan of regular Mountain Dew, but we'll make do with this, and that'll be for the Happy Dew year.
So this is Maui Burst.
Is that one on also the list?
Apparently, that is a pineapple flavored Mountain Dew. Well, yes,
I love pineapple.
Oh gosh.
It's like a tropical party. It's like you're on the beach.
I can do, like, if it's good actual pineapple, sure. But, like, pineapple flavored things.
We've tried Mountain Dew, I thought, pineapple. Wasn't that in that lineup of those?
Yeah, we have got to get a spreadsheet.
We've got to keep a Google Doc of everything. We've tried, because was it last year they came out and we got them like a month before they came out in January? We tried all those Mountain Dew.
No, that was Mountain Dew Amped.
Okay, so
that was Amped.
I thought there was a pineapple version of that one, or at least maybe it was a tropical one.
I don't remember though, because I'll tell you what, the two that I remember is you're right. There was a yellow one.
Yeah, what was the yellow one?
I don't remember. Those were pretty good though. Zach used to do stuff for Major League Gaming, and he would come back and he would almost always bring me a can of Amped. I liked that stuff. That's good. I think it's still out there. I just think it's way too expensive for what it is. And I'm sure they're glad to hear that.
So Mountain Dew, they'll have a peach New Year's Eve flavor.
Right. It'll be called Mountain Dew Happy Dew Year.
Someone in a meeting got a bonus for the Happy Dew Year. You know they did.
It's either that or they were like, they sent out an email. Everybody send your Mountain Dew puns to us.
And they're not going to tell you who actually picked that one.
Winner gets a free case of the Dew.
Well, Mountain Dew is the winner. We all win.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on RadioU.
You know what? This is a little outside of our wheelhouse, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Nikki and I have, of course, we got our eyes on all the stupid streaming services, and we keep talking about them, and I'm going to keep calling them stupid.
Just makes you feel better, right? Even if you join them and you join up, we still say stupid. It's fine.
I spend more time talking about streaming services than I do watching them.
It'll go away once it actually unveils. Once they actually start, then some of the new stuff with it will go away.
But in the middle of all of this, Nikki has found a streaming service that for certain people I know and certain family members
is the stuff right there.
It is the answer to so many problems.
All the other channels on it are like super, like not ones we would ever watch, but there's 3 on there that tend to get ignored from most of the streaming services, except I had Philo, and it was on that,
Philo?
I believe. But outside of that, it's not everywhere.
So get a load of this. It's called Friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, Friendly TV. It's online only.
Well, it has a Roku app and it has an iOS. Yeah, I mean, like,
but it's streaming
like
only is what I meant. So yeah, you can get it. This says Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, iOS, and Android. So it's out there. I'm talking about. Here's some of the channels: QVC, the Weather Channel.
It's for older people.
The World Fishing Network.
It's like for your grandparents.
The Sportsman Channel.
Yes.
The Outdoor Channel.
It's all for your grandparents.
The Game Show Network.
Yes, all of it.
And then here's the big 3.
So this is where that stops, and now more people like it.
Hallmark Channel, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, Hallmark Drama. So the Hallmark channels.
Yeah.
And I will just tell you right now, I know people that they live for Hallmark Christmas movies. Mm-hmm. They're watching them year round, whatever. And they don't even want cable. They're just trying to figure out a way to get the Hallmark channel.
So we have YouTube TV for now. And it does not have Hallmark on it.
It does not.
And it's rather expensive, but it does have a pretty good lineup. We got it for college football season. But I did sign up for that just so I could watch the Hallmark Christmas movies. I watched one last night. I was so happy. So happy. happy. And embarrassed, but still happy. It's shame.
So did the new innkeeper and the sheriff get together?
This was about a cookie company. Christmas cookie company. It is so cheesy. It is poorly done.
Wait. Let me see.
She's with the big
female
company.
executive that has the big whatever. She goes in and finds a man running a local bakery whose wife had died and has been took over his wife's bakery.
And well, with this, it's the local cookie company, and the big company wants them to move to Buffalo.
The big city.
Maybe in the cookie world, and I was just as happy as can be.
You're just like, this is wonderful.
It's great. And you know, like the screenshots, or what is it? The thumbnail. Yeah. When you look at the thumbnail of all the Hallmark movies, it's always just like, here's the guy and the girl. They have some sort of costumes on for whatever, if it's Christmas or Valentine's or summer, all that. And they're so similar. It's just like, what am I doing? But I'm happy for right now.
You're living your best life.
It was pretty cheap, so I'm going to have it for Christmas. And then maybe into Valentine's, because they have a lot of fun Hallmark movies.
But have you seen their Easter romances?
Oh, no. I'll never leave. But the rest of the channels, like, I don't even touch.
You don't watch the Sportsman channel?
I don't touch any of the others, but I'm not the only one who watches Hallmark Christmas movies. I know I can't be the only one.
You're not, and two, there's been a disturbing trend of men that I speak with that are watching
coming
them.
out and they say they watch it. Well, I know a lot of guys who will watch it with like, your girlfriend or something, just to be nice, and then they develop an attachment to the movies too.
Okay, well,
so, yay!
There it is. How much is this? $6 a month.
How do you put a price on Christmas stuff?
Okay, so what you're saying is that while there is a price, that doesn't. Its value far exceeds its price.
Correct. And last night I said to myself, I was like, maybe I should only watch Hallmark Christmas movies till Hallmark or till Christmas time.
Till Hallmark.
Till Hallmark time.
Nikki's renaming Christmas.
Uh-oh.
The war on Christmas is taking an ugly turn.
No, I fixed it. We just changed it completely. No one's mad.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Let those lonely people on the radio teach you how to make friends.